Okay. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Red and Blue Podcast. I'm Blistering Rage Gaming here with co-host CyberSlick11 on Twitch, also known as Jordan Hamilton, and we have a special guest today, NC PAckBuster.
What's going on, everybody?
So we're basically doing a Q&A. We'll alternate asking him questions, and then at the end we're just going to go over the Champions Pass set list and just talk about that basically. And then at the end we'll do a little opening. Okay. So you're going first with the questions, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Alright, so my first question for you, Adam, is what Pokemon TCG set is the best set to start collecting for fun?
Evolutions. I think it's widely available. It's cheap for the most part. You can get enough of it.
Yeah.
It has enough of the newer to it with it, like you have the EXs and whatnot, but then it also has that like old feel because it does have that base set look to it.
Yeah.
It still packs in some of that. Like the full arts and things. It has money chase cards to it with the hollow and the reverse hollow Charizard and that gold full art one. I think from like an early collector's, like if you're just getting into this to collect, it's the set to start.
Yeah, that is a really fun set. Didn't collect much of it, but definitely in the future I want to get some more. Okay, so the second question is, what is the best way to sell Pokemon cards online?
What kind of cards are you trying to sell? I think that's the biggest part of that question. Because there's so many ways to sell cards now, right?
Yeah.
There's so many. Are you selling singles? Are you trying to sell bulk? Are you trying to sell graded cards? Are you trying to sell vintage cards? It really depends on what you want to sell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you really like? What are you looking for in terms of sale? Like,
I mean, maybe not now, but in the future, probably like just cards.
okay, so if you want to just sell singles, getting a TCG player account set up to sell is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
It's 12.5% that they take as opposed to like the 14 to 16 that eBay takes. Mercari is a great spot to sell cards. It's super secure for both the buyer and the seller.
Well, that's good.
I know that I have bought stuff off of there that was like resealed, sealed product, and I got my money back every single time, like no questions asked. I also have received cards in the mail through Mercari that were said to be like one condition, but they weren't, and I was fully refunded, and I didn't even have to send the card back, so my kids got some extra cards that way. So is like an entry level seller. TCG Player is a really good one. Mercari's going up to 12.5% as well here October 1st. So it's not going to be the 10% that they're at now, but it's really good. Either one of those spots, and I mean TCG Player, its ease of a sales system is the best that I've seen. I've actually am quite upset with myself for not having set that up months ago.
Wow. Maybe like, what about like maybe sealed products if I ever am to sell them in the future?
Sealed product. So sealed product's a tough one, right? So here at Hydro Pump, we sell sealed product. We do most of our sealed product sales through either Instagram or through our Discord, right?
Yeah.
From time to time, I will put up booster boxes on Mercari a little bit higher than I normally want to because I'm trying to cover the fee and I'm trying to cover shipping. We have sold higher end sealed product on eBay just because there's so much traffic there and people looking for it.
Yeah.
So it depends on the avenue that you want to go down, in the medium to sell that you want to go down. So Just keep that in mind. There's so many places to sell, and there's so many people out there that are looking to buy.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out what works for you, and then like finding a way to make that best, not necessarily profit margin, because I'm not into flipping. So like if you're not going to get into like a retail sense of sealed product, but like just know the fees associated with it, because you can burn
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I've made some mistakes where I've accidentally put up the wrong price, sold a ton of it, and then realized that I took a hit on every single item that was sold.
Oh.
And so you've got to find that happy medium between shipping prices and the fees that you have. I mean, you can always set up your own website and try and generate traffic to it where you're not going to have any fees,
Yeah.
except for the credit card processing, which is like an average of about 4%. So I use a Square when I go out and about and I sell stuff, and Square charges 4%. They
Oh.
also allow you to have your own website, but they still charge that 4% for the processing fee. So I mean, you just got to figure out what the fees are, what you're looking to sell, and how much of it you're looking to sell. So
Okay. So welcome Cosmic Tron, Joseph Weaver, Cool
And moving
Squirtle
on to the
Gaming.
next question.
Yeah, I'm just saying hi to everyone in Gyarados Freak. Gyarados said, never go wrong with grading and flipping cards.
hold on just a second, guys. I'm listening to you. I'm just got to
Yeah.
with the kids.
Yeah, just a welcome to everyone. We got 6 viewers. It's really good.
All right. The girl, I agreed to the kids having a sleepover with one of
Of
their
it now.
friends tonight. That was a bad idea.
And Mike, so
All right.
Oh, Juice is even here. He hasn't been here in a while.
Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Yep.
I'm just trying to. Christy's still at work. She's on her way home right now. So I've got 3 girls trying to run amok upstairs. My kids are usually asleep by about 7 o'clock, 7:30, and it's almost 9 o'clock. So
yeah.
all right, what do you got for me, Jordan?
Okay.
All right. So all right. How do you predict a Pokemon card's value to increase or decrease?
So everything's always going to go up, right? As sets get older, cards go up. You see a lot of the roller. I mean, you guys play mostly, right? You're not really into the economics of Pokemon, right? So when you look at gameplay, you see this roller coaster, right? So Jirachis forever, $20 to $25, right? Even at some point they were like in that $35 zone. And then that Pikarom deck comes out, and I think I just sold 6 of them the other day, and the best price I could get for them was $8 a piece. So and that was for the hollow ones. That wasn't for the non-hollow ones out of those boxes. So you see this very big roller coaster with playable cards. You saw it with like one that is totally tanked recently, right? Zero Aura.
Yeah.
Was in that like $20 to $30 range for a long time because it was super playable in Pikarom decks and other Flash Lightning decks and stuff like that. It was almost a staple, right? And now it's like you can buy them for like $4 or $5 because they just they're not what they used to be. Same thing with Dedenne. I just had one pop up that I sold on TCG Player. The Rainbow Rare tanked because you can get them everywhere. Not necessarily the Rainbow, but you can get Dedennes everywhere, and the best I could get was $18. So you see the roller coaster with that. But then you look at cards like I'll throw the shiny Charizard out there because you're grading one through us right now, right?
Yeah.
So you saw it huge in the beginning because everybody wanted it, right? And it was hard to come by. And then more and more product made it out, and more of them made it out. So for a long time, you were seeing those sell in like the $300 to $400 range raw.
Yeah.
And then they actually dropped significantly, and I sold a couple for a friend of mine here, and the best we could get for him was $145 a piece, but he
Oh,
really
wow.
needed money, so we sold
Yeah.
them, right? And then that was back in January, maybe beginning of February, right before I went out of town for a month. And when I got back, it was like he was like, "Oh man, we made a huge mistake." I was like, "What?" They're starting to go back up, and then come like May time frame, they're back in like that $500-$600 range, and they're kind of hovering between 7 and 8 raw right now. And the PSA 10 one's creeping back up into that $2,000 range. So you see those collectible cards go up, right? We've seen the likes of like T17 reach like astronomical rates. Like the Lugia from Neo Genesis used to be the biggest card, and now the T17's above it, and that Typhlosion. So like you're gonna see a lot of those high-end collectible cards start to shoot up in price, and so eventually things will go up, but when they get out of that like super playable to now like in expanded but nobody really plays expanded section, you'll watch them be like high end and then like up there because they're playable, and they'll drop back down, and then as it's harder to find those sets, and people want the cards because they're either trying to complete them or they're just going to hoard it for a while, and sit on it graded and whatnot, then you're going to watch it go back up again. But for the most part, everything goes up. In time, it your 3-cent base set common is now $1 a piece or whatnot. So, it'll eventually get there.
Yeah, recently I've been collecting a bit more. So I want to get more into collecting, but like keep the like playing mostly online, since I don't have a shop near me for playing. Can't play anyway right now.
Right.
But
okay. It's the collecting is fun. I love to play. I wish I had more time to play. And that's really where, outside of like your full arts and your rainbows and your golds, right? Like the playable cards are where the money is at. And then it really comes down to just the collectability of the cards once things leave standard play, because expanded just isn't like, people play, but it's not what it used to be.
No. Okay, so the next question we got is currently what Pokemon TCG set is the best investment? Yeah, that's
if you are on a budget, if you have zero budget right now and we're talking modern sets, I mean, you can't go wrong with Hidden Fates. I hate talking about it. I talk about it with people all the time, but like there's just so much money. I was talking to
you didn't hear me knock.
Who was I talking to recently? I think I was talking to J.E. State the other day. He was sending me a bunch of DMs and whatnot, asking me about grading cards and whatnot, right? And I was
did you get that?
He's like, do I grade this or do I grade that? He was talking all Hidden Fates cards, and I said, well, like, look at this. Like, this is what the raw values of these cards are, and this is what the PSA 10 values are. This is what the PSA 9 values are. There's no reason, if these cards are packed fresh, to not just go out and grade them. So in all, if you can afford it, because it's a set that you can still find in stores from time to time, Hidden Fates is the way to go. If you can find like the sleeved blisters of Unbroken Bonds, Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, all those are shooting up. Burning Shadows, even so much as like we've been selling a lot of the Evolutions blisters as well. It's one of those sets that it's just gonna go, right. I really think that that's gonna be the next one to just explode. The problem is it's just everywhere. You've got those new QnA collections coming out that have 10 packs in them, and so that is going to drive, probably keep prices about where they're at. but like if you can get any of those big team up to some extent, you've got the Pikarom, but the Pikarom's kind of plateaued right around $50.
Yeah.
But you still have that Rainbow Rare Lazio, not the Rainbow Rare, but the alternate art Latios and Latios, the heart card, the one that we still haven't been unable to pull, is still driving about, it's almost $100 raw now. It's the most expensive card in that set. So, Burning Shadows, Unbroken Bonds are probably your two best bets. You can still find Burning Shadows pretty readily available. Unbroken Bonds, not so much. They are doing a reprint, but it's going to be super, super limited. I know our distributor said they're limiting it to 2 boxes per retailer. So, I don't. If you're looking at something to just like purely invest in because you don't have a lot of money but you want to get in, Burning Shadows, Unbroken Bonds, and then maybe Evolutions right after that.
Okay. Yeah, first edition PSA 10 base Pika is like 5,000.
Yeah,
that's what Gyarados Freak said.
So Adam's in here too. We talked about, even the commons and stuff from base set and the first edition ones, and like a lot of the first edition base set commons and uncommons are in like that $300 to $500 zone.
Wow.
In a PSA 10. So, it was a base set first edition box just sold for like $200,000 at auction. So like that's all that's going to do is like the rest of the stuff is going to the open product that's graded high is just going to continue to skyrocket in price now.
What do y'all think of the CP set list? You're hyped, but low-key disappointed with set size and limited number secret rares. We will get to that later. Okay. You ready to ask the next question, Jordan?
Hi, honey. Christy got home.
Oh.
They're on here.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Christy.
What do you got for me, Jordan?
Alright, before I go further into my thing, I'll probably not be streaming the Red and Blue Pokecast anymore on Twitch.
Okay.
We'll just do it like right here. So
Okay.
the reason why is because like I'm having technical difficulties almost every time. And I'm pretty sure people don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, but anyways, number 5. Alright.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, what couple of cards do you see increasing the most in price in the future?
Anything Charizard related?
Yeah, that's about.
I mean, it's really the easiest. It's the easiest way to answer that question.
Yeah.
It's the most highly collectible card, character, however you want to call it, with like Pikachu being behind it, because a lot of those Pikachu cards go up in value too, right? But like in terms of like what goes up exponentially quicker are the Charizard cards, and if you get your hands on them, hold them, grade them. I'm a huge proponent of grading every Charizard. I think I just sent 82 different Charizard cards in to get graded about a month and a half ago or so, and like some of them were like nothing, but I just did it as a joke, and I graded the team up ones, and then I graded the ones from Dragon's Majesty. So Dragon's Majesty is a holo, and team up's even a non-holo, and those are like over $100 in a 10 right now, and they are what they are. So Charizard cards, if you can get the Evolutions one in a 10, my guess is that it's between like $500 and $600 now, maybe. So that's, if you were to invest in one character, that's a lot to buy into it, but it's probably the best investment you can have.
Yeah, for that team up, the deck for Charizard, I remember it started off at 15, the retail, and then it went up to like 75 at one point. Always got one.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Yeah. I don't know what it's at now, but I know it was at like 75 at one point.
Yeah, I actually found a shop outside of Boston back in February, and I bought 10 of them, and they were only selling them for $8 a piece. So.
Oh wow. Poor Blastoise
that
Up
industry.
around like 40 now.
The reason that those are as high as they are is because it's the only way to get the cracked ice Charizard.
Yeah.
So there's one of the Charizards that's in there as a hollow version, which wasn't released anywhere else, and then it's not the regular hollow. It's the cracked ice version. So it's a little bit different, and people go nuts for that stuff.
Charizard was a common in the VS series Japanese set. Oh wow.
Yeah, poor Blastoise and Venusaur.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Blasty Boy is where it's at. Or at least that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's me, right? Yeah. What is the best way about getting cards to sell?
Sticking with it. Stick to your guns. There's a lot of times that people are just like, oh, stuff's not selling, so I'm going to drop the price out on it. Pick a price point that you want and just hold on to it. Unless it's like, I've bought collections off of people because like they needed money bad, and they were selling stuff low. Probably the reason that I bought them. Yeah. But like, just stick to it. Do your research before you sell. Those of you that don't know how to use eBay last sold or how to check up like what the last sellings of anything was on eBay, like there's actually a button that you can click inside the filters, and it won't give you what's for sale anymore. It'll give you the past sold, and it'll give you the dates in which they were sold. So that's usually the best way to do it. I'm reading chat. Adam's got me laughing. Yeah. Use last sold, and then if you create a TCG player account, one thing that a lot of people don't know is that it actually tells you what the last sold price was, including shipping, on TCG player. So you can see, like, you can actually watch the trends of what people are selling cards for on TCG player as well. So you can get a really good estimate as to what it is. But like, if you're watching cards roller coaster around a lot, like, pick a price that you want to sell it at and leave it there. Like, eventually the price will get there. So Adam and I made the mistake with Burning Shadows booster boxes is we had a bunch of them, 4 or 5 cases worth that we were selling, and they weren't selling at the price point we wanted. And then we started dropping the price like $10 and $15 a piece. And then all of a sudden, where our price was became the market price. And so we sold like 2 cases under the value that we wanted. And then if we would have waited a week, we would have sold everything at or above that price point that we had picked. So if you don't need the money now, stick to your guns, keep it at the price point. If the card continues to drop, like, watch it and try and get it at that point before it like bottoms out. I mean, I can show you guys basically the selling side of the room over here. Yeah. And there's so many cards here that I lose track of things at times in terms of like what needs to be put up and sold. And that's, I mean, I hurt myself on those Jirachis. I've been sitting on those things for months. Yeah. And just, I kept meaning to put them up, and I just hadn't put them up. And then, you know, you take a $12 to $15 hit on them, but you can't look back at like, oh man, I made a mistake. So I don't know. Yeah. It's Adam, you're ridiculous, man. I don't know if it's hard to get a girlfriend or not if you collect Pokemon, because I was wiped up before I started Pokemoning again. I definitely didn't have a girlfriend when I collected in high school. And what position does Christy hold in the hydro pump business? She kind of runs both of us, bro. Between her and Portia. Everything is a learning point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Next,
Next.
Number 7, I think.
Is it better to open to get cards or to buy cards to resell them?
So say that again.
Sell them.
I think it cut out.
I keep missing half the question, so.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So those numbers. Is it better to open products to get cards or to buy cards and resell them?
Yeah.
A little bit of both. So for us, we open a lot, but we're also content creators, right? So we need to open stuff for that. But I can tell you that we open far more off camera than we do on camera. So if you think it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that we open on camera, like multiply that by 2 or 3, and that's what's open off camera.
Oh.
But we do that for one of 2 reasons. One, content creating, right? So we open packs and we like opening a lot. But 2 is, I guess it's threefold, right? 2, we like to do it because off camera, it's kind of like Christy and I get home from work and she'll grab a pack. There's a huge box that's nothing but like loose packs that we've gotten. And so we'll just grab a couple out of there and we'll open them. And then 3, like we sell bulk as well. So not only do we buy bulk from people, but we also like repackage it, and we sell it to people that want it. So we don't bulk it out; we kind of take it up, and so we can resell all the bulk. So it's not that big of an issue to us, right? We also buy a lot of singles. What was it, about 2 months ago? We bought $1,000 worth, $1,000 lot off of somebody that was nothing but shiny vault stuff from Hidden Fates. It included a couple of shiny Mewtwo's, I think at least 1 if not 2 of all of the evolutions, and it was just like one of those lots that we knew that if we went to grade, like we'd turn maybe 3, 4, 5 times what we bought it for. It was the possibility of what we were looking at, so it was worth spending the money at the time. So some of that stuff is some of that stuff is at PSA now. Others of it is still sitting here in like we call it our bulk collection. So when other people grade for us, we send it out because we have to at least have 50 cards per submission. And so we try not to hold on to people's cards for more than 2 weeks before we send it out. And so we try and keep some of that extra stuff. So we don't know what the return on that investment is going to be, but I can tell you most of those cards have gone up at least 10 to 15% since we bought them, and that's just the raw value of them. So we could just turn around and sell all those things raw right now and still make about 10 to 15%. So it depends on what you're buying the singles for. If you are a pure collector and you're not an investor, like I think the person that puts it best is a buddy of ours here, Tim Weaver, who you'll see like in chats and stuff from time to time, right? He's a firm believer on buying like a booster box and some packs from every set. And then if they're trying to collect out, or even he's a huge Magic the Gathering player, he'll buy a box or 2 to support the local game shop, and then he'll buy the rest of the singles because it is not worth buying pack upon pack upon pack to try and finish the set. A, you may not get there, and B, you spent more money opening packs than you did on what the set is worth at the end. And is that, I don't know. So maybe you pulled enough of the extra bigger cards to maybe break yourself even, but like the chances of that are very, very low. So I think that was the question you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making fun of that thing I said in stream.
What?
Oh, I was like, when I referred to him, I said the guy that works with NC PAckBuster.
Am I doing the next question?
Sorry, Christy just came home, so
Yeah.
she's going to bed. It's past her bedtime. It's 20, so
Yeah.
she worked all day. Adam's watching, that's why I said it. All right, what else you guys got? I know you got a whole basket.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go next. Yeah, because I said his question, but his voice cut out, so I guess I'll do this one.
What up, Scipio?
Is it printer to open? Oh, okay, number 8. How do you feel about people price gouging hidden fates?
Hate it. I think the last Hydro Pump Pokecast we did, I went on a halfway decent rant about this. Some people have gotten my rant in private. I am not a fan of flipping. I told Adam we do quite a bit of sales, at least singles wise, on Facebook, and I'm actually, not just for Pokemon reasons, but for other reasons, I'm actually going to turn off like my Facebook account once Champions Path is done, because the amount of people that I see between Facebook and Instagram that they'll show a picture of the Walmart shelves like fully stocked, and like you'll see hidden fates, you'll see things like those Ultra Prism 3-pack boxes, and the other big one recently was the re-release of those Evolutions ETBs.
Oh,
and you know how much that stuff is at retail, right? And Walmart always sells at retail.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, the same person shows a picture of them sitting in their vehicle with a Walmart bag, and it's like, oh, I've got stuff for sale here shortly. So you know that they were just in Walmart, show the Walmart bag that they bought, and then they go back and they're selling stuff at, take this whole new, what is it? The Hidden Fates box has been showing up at Walmart, right? So those are $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going and they're buying them for $19.99, and then they're turning around and they're selling them at, like, I've seen them as high, like people buying them as high as $60. So it's not necessarily the person is the issue that's doing it. Yes, like they don't have to sell it that high, right? Like you don't buy at retail to resell. It's just a bad practice in my opinion. But like it's people that are willing to pay it though too. Like as long as people are willing to be like, yeah, like I'm gonna do it. I saw right before the boom this happened, like somebody had like 200 of those Walmart boxes, right? And they were trying to sell them for $50 a piece, and people were like, absolutely not. And they held out and they held out, and then finally someone's like, I guess I'll just buy them all at $50 a piece because I really want to open it. And it was like, oh, like it's frustrating, but people want it, right? And people want to open it. Some people may open it. Some people may just be buying it like, okay, if I buy it at $50 now, next year they might be $100, and I'm going to double my investment. Like, okay, whatever. But I'm not a fan of watching people go to the store, buy stuff, and resell it. I've done it from time to time where I will let people know that I've found things in the store, and I will pick it up and I will sell it back to them at whatever I bought it for plus shipping. But I'm not going to go to the store. And I did it once with sports cards 4 months ago, and I actually felt really guilty about it. And it's just it's killing the vibe of Pokemon, and it's tough. And I don't know, like, so I'm just gonna take Scipio's comment here. What about long-term flipping? So long-term flipping is fine, right? Because there's a difference between short-term investment and long-term investment. So do you necessarily know that product is going to go up in 3 to 4 years time? Not necessarily, right? Most likely, especially in collectibles. So if you're buying it to hold on to it and then you're going to flip it 3-4 years down the line, I'm okay with that, right? You're taking the chance. You're not just trying to make a quick buck. Because generally, like, legitimately, like, that's all collecting is, right? You're not really going for the short-term investment. Most people go for that long-term investment, right? So if you're going to hold on to it for a couple of years, good by you. I mean, I've got Hidden Fates ETBs behind me that I'll probably end up selling at one point, but I'm not going to do it now because I think the $250, $300 that they are now is going to be, $1,000 maybe 3 years down the line. And I bought those at less than retail. but I'm holding on to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think for the long term, it's okay because we're all gonna flip stuff anyway, right? Between I move every couple of years for my job, and it if I have to move here next summer, then like we might sell a bunch of the sealed stuff that we have just because we don't want to move with it. And like the boxes that you see behind me, I bought those as a long-term investment. I didn't buy them as a short-term investment. They're the Generations pin boxes, and it's you don't always just buy things to like. If you just buy them to flip them, don't agree with it. If you buy them to sit on it, and make it as a long-term investment, cool. Like, I mean, eventually, like every piece of sealed product that you see out there, including the Watsy stuff, like that was people that had bought that at most, like if they'd been holding onto it for 20 years, bought it at retail. So the movers are free, but when you have to move everything that you have, it sucks.
Okay, so it's you now, Jordan, number 9.
Alright. What do you use to price Pokemon cards and why?
What do I use to price them?
Yeah, that's the question.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I think I answered this before.
Yeah.
I use eBay last sold because a lot of that's where you see PSA cards get sold 95% of the time. And you see tons and tons of high-end singles sold there, right? So you can kind of gauge what people are selling things for, and that also helps me gauge like what I buy things for at the same time, right? I now use at least for playable cards, I use the last sold button on TCG Player. So if you have a seller's account, you have access to that.
Okay.
So I use that as well. You can't find a market trend to it because like 5 minutes ago I could have sold one card and it sold at that, and then like the next person in the queue that had it, maybe I had a card up for $15 and it sold for $15, and then somebody else comes along looking for the same card and the cheapest value of that card is now at $20. Like that becomes the last sold because somebody was willing to pay the $20 for it, right? So you can't really gain a trend because it won't give you the graph of what that card has been selling at. But like if you watch it enough and it's cards, you're keeping track of playable cards like say Crobat right now, for example, and the Eternatus VMAX is another one that's kind of gone like in this weird way. And like I probably check it each day and just to see what the last solds are. And then for the higher end stuff, it's definitely eBay last sold because that's where most people are gonna buy that.
Yeah, I usually use TCG Player listed median, but
so listed median is what card shops use. So listed median is really tough because most people don't know that listed median price is they take all of the cards that are for sale of that card, right? And then add up all of the prices of all those cards and then divide the total cost of all those cards together divided by the total number of actual cards that are for sale, and that's how they come up with that number. So the TCG median price is really good for card shops because they can make good money off of it. But if you are trying to like buy stuff and really judge your price the right way, the best way to do it is if you're going to use TCG Player's market price. So it's what TCG Players it's like what their buy lists are, because I know Scipio does a lot of buy list stuff with TCG Player and Troll and Toad. So that's what they think that the card should be at, right? So all it takes is like a couple of outliers on cards, like say like the Full Art Crobat was like $40 for a long time at the median, because you had a couple people that had it like $80, $85 for that card.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have those outliers that are going to get brought down by everybody else, but it'll also bring the median up. So that's why card shops use it, and they're very open about using that.
Mm-hmm.
But the market price is the better one to go with. I try and sell right around TCG market. I know that we probably take a hit from time to time for it, but cards move a lot faster because people see the market price compared to what the prices that they're paying for it.
Yeah.
And thus it works out a little bit better. But yeah, market price is probably the best way to go off TCG player.
Okay. Okay, so number 10, besides you guys, Hydro Pump, where is the best place to buy Pokemon cards online?
100% Danny Phantom on Instagram. If not him, Mav the Mad Collector, he is also a PokeTuber. I trust both. I consider Danny a mentor in this whole thing. He is who I bought from exclusively for about the last 6 months before we started this. Super cool guy, down to earth. Usually has tons of product on hand. If not, he will get it for you. There's been times that Gyarados Freak is in here. We didn't have access to the distributor yet, and Gyarados Freak needed Crimson Invasion boxes, and so I just I just DM'd him on Instagram. I was like, "Hey man, can I get a case of Crimson Invasion?" He's like, "Sure." And then his prices are awesome. Can't really beat them. We work really closely with Mav. We actually bounce pricing and market stuff off with him. He's super well-rounded business sense to him. So, and he's also a PokeTuber and a dad, and so he understands the whole not price gouging and going out of control with things. Why are all my thumbnails? You're just a jerk, dude. You're just a troll today. He's just jealous because it's not both of us on right now. That's what's going on.
So with that question, what about like websites?
Websites.
Yeah, where you would just use a debit card.
What do we use?
Card.
I use DA Card World a lot. They usually have a lot of product and they're very well priced. I used to use Mythic Cards and Games, but they're no longer a company right now. I think they're on hold because they're having a lot of financial issues. They were really good, and they had a really good what do you call it? Like rewards program, so you like earned free stuff pretty quickly.
Cool.
DA Cardwell gives you, like, if you order enough stuff, they give you free stuff. So like sometimes you can like get free packs of cards and whatnot. Adam and I like using Hills Wholesale Gaming a lot too. Those guys will drop the price out of things like you wouldn't believe. I don't like using Gyarados Freak says Troll and Toad. I do not like using Troll and Toad for anything. I stay away from it. And I stay away from granted we've sold stuff, we've sold sealed product on there before, but I like TCG player, like unless you know who the seller is and the seller's got like really good reviews for selling sealed product, like I stick away from it. I've heard way too many horror stories about Troll and Toad, singles and sealed product, but a lot of people use PokeNerd. I think that's what it's called. A lot of people use that, and they give out affiliate links too. So like you can earn money for yourself that kind of goes into an account with them to buy back from. But I just wrote, it hasn't been published yet, but I just wrote an article for Lootbox TV's like blog section about just being wary with who you're buying from. And ask questions. Like that's, you guys both have a Discord, I think. We have ours. There's other Discords out there. Like just ask questions. Lots of websites pop up all the time. They come and they go. Some of them do really, some of them do well, and they're just like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And then some of them just get run out because they're just sleaze bags. So ask questions. Like just ask people. Like, hey, have you ever bought from this before? That goes for individual sellers as well.
Okay, so next question is 11. Jordan?
Oh, I didn't know it was my turn.
His mic's off.
Oh,
Okay, so my next
Now you're good, bud.
yep.
Alright. What couple of cards are the best to invest in currently?
What couple of cards? Like, okay, so singles to
Yeah,
invest in right now.
yeah.
Red and Pikachu from Cosmic Eclipse, can still find them raw for about $20, $25, right?
Mm.
That card is going to shoot up like you wouldn't believe. Like it's one of those cards that's going to hit the peak. I think it's already like $150 in a 10.
Oh,
But for being as cheap as it is, I think you can still find the Shining Mews and Shining Rayquazas from Shining Legends between $30 and $50 raw, and those are in the
yeah.
$400 to $500 range right
I have
now.
one
on
of each
eBay.
of them. Yeah.
So those cards are huge. If you can, I think Adam's still in here, and he's just going to he's gonna laugh at me. The Lugias from Lost Thunder, they've actually taken off out of nowhere. So
wow.
what it didn't make my top 5 when we did this a couple months ago, but that card is all those cards have shot up. And then what else do we got? Scipio says the stained glass birds. If you can find them cheap, especially if you can find them in like still in the wrapper, they're really good. Scipio's also said, I agree with the Armored Mewtwo. I should have bought more of those tins when I had the opportunity to, because not only does the Armored Mewtwo come in those things, but there is an alternate version of the Dragon's Majesty Charizard in that same tin. Like, I think that got overlooked by a lot of people.
Wait, so what was
else?
the tin?
It was here. I got one back here.
Yeah, I might have. Like, I don't know if I have it or not.
It was this one right here. It was the lunchbox, the Armored Mewtwo one.
Oh, I might have that. I'll have to check, but
So, that Armored Mewtwo is really good. And those are all cards on a budget, right? So most things that you can find under $50. The full art and the Rainbow Rare Birds are both starting to shoot up, at least in PSA 10 prices, for over $100.
yeah, I actually won one of them from Ep.4.
So
Yeah.
that, I mean, in short, that's probably really good. Yeah, really, any of the Scipio's going to keep going, but any of the Shining cards from Shining Legends, like they're all up there. The Volcanion will continue to climb in price. I think I gave one away in the last couple months too, as a PSA 9 as a giveaway. But when you're looking at like cards to invest in, is it a card that in the past has gone up, right? So the Lugia from Neo Genesis is huge, right? $28,000 or something like that in a 10. Stupid price, right? So look at the trends in the past, and then what does that translate to? So, you know, cards that necessarily may not be on a budget, the Mew and Mewtwo Rainbow Rare, like both cards that have always like skyrocketed in price over time. Anything Charizard that you can get on a budget, like even if it's a non-hollow one from Team Up, like they'll eventually go up if you sit on them. So
okay, how do you go about getting in contact and getting approved by distributors? This would be for the way future if I ever get that far.
It's actually way easier than anybody thinks that it is, and I'm probably gonna, lose a lot of people for it because they're like, "Oh man, I'm just gonna go out and do it." So, you first need to have a federal tax ID number, so you need to create a company, right? Doesn't take that much time, doesn't cost that much money. Then you need to get your state retailer's license, and so every state has a different process to get your retailing license. So that's what allows you to buy things. not only to sell within the state that you're living in, but it gives you the ability to buy things tax-free. So when you buy from a distributor, which is a wholesaler, the retailer doesn't buy things with tax added onto it. So like the price that you see on your sheet is the price that you pay, outside of credit card fees and shipping or freight charges, stuff like that. So and then you just have to find the distributors. Pokemon has all of theirs on their website, and they do it country by country. So you find them,
That's
and then
cool.
you just start calling them, and you see who's open. So some distributors work with brick and mortar stores only, so your local game shops. Some will work with anybody. Some will only take so many new accounts per year. Some of them will take anybody, but your allocations or the number of product that you get is based on the amount of money that you sell per year. So if you're brand new and you're not spending a lot of money, you're not going to get as much stuff as, say, somebody that's spending a lot of money. And so you just have to find what works for you. Do you want to, the distributor that we use is probably the second largest in the nation. And so we went with them mostly because A, they're big. And if the warehouse that we go through is missing stuff, we can always just pay the extra shipping costs that come from another one. And then they worked well with us, and they carry a lot of Pokemon products, and it's actually been way easier to deal with them than I ever thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a pain in the butt, and it really hasn't been that way. So that's how you go about it. Anybody that's looking at starting it up, but reach out to me. I'm open to it. It's fairly easy, and the pricing's pretty good too.
Yeah. Okay. Number 13.
All right. So next question. We're almost done with the questions, but
Okay.
Yeah.
17 questions. But the best vintage set to start off for collecting vintage is Wizards of the
Team Rocket. I mean, they're all expensive now, right? Like, you can't be a budget vintage collector. Every once in a while, you can get very lucky, like I have twice in the last 6 months, to buy full sets for like rock bottom pricing. I think I just bought a full unlimited fossil set for $200 recently within the last month, and it was very, very good. And then I bought a Neo Rev set back in February for like $300, and it had it had the Shining Magikarp and Shining Gyarados with it as well. It was the full thing. So that's if you really want to get into vintage stuff, just buy the singles, buy the cards that you want. Find the set that you like the artwork and the cards in it, and go that way. It depends on who you talk to, right? So Adam and I are huge Team Rocket fans. You've got guys like Sudan who are big Fossil fans, right? And then there's people out there that are huge, like, swear by Jungle. Some people are only like, the only vintage set you need to open is, or you need to get into is base set. But it all depends on what you want. It's all expensive.
Yeah.
If you're trying to buy sealed product, because the PSA 10 values of the holos are just astronomical, and that's what really sets the market for sealed product.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what you want from a marketability standpoint and investment standpoint. It's all good, but like any of the sets with the Charizard, obviously, right? Team Rocket's got one.
Yeah, Scipio said he'd love to try eventually quit the old 9 to 5.
Yeah, I would love to quit the 9 to 5 myself, but I've got 5 years left, so I'm gonna grind it for another 5 years because I'm not giving up my pension.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I think Tim Weaver and I are actually, if Hydro Pump does well enough, turn it into a brick and mortar store here in Eastern North Carolina. So we'll have to have Jorden up and take a look at the shop when we open it, because it'll only be about 30 to 40 minutes away from where he lives.
Yeah. It'd be hours away from me.
And
All
what?
right.
Said it'd be hours away from me.
About 10 to 12.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question. Do you think that Champion's Path will be a good investment, and
To open a vintage pack? No.
should people go, or how should people go about buying Champion's Path wisely?
Well, you're going to hear the same answer tomorrow, because Adam and I are talking about this probably in depth tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I think Champion's Path overall is a trash set. I'm not impressed with it. I try to think of myself as a player first. Like, it's why Adam deals with the vintage side of the house and I deal with the modern side of the house.
Yeah.
Like, in general, like, you look at the set list and it's like, what were they thinking, right? And what they were thinking is that the 2 Charizards, okay, 3 Charizards, are going to drive all of the sales, and that's exactly what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So we have ordered a lot, and we still don't know what our numbers are. And we had some people reaching out to us, like we had almost 3/4 of what we had asked for ETBs wide sold, because it had the Charizard, right, as the promo. But 2 days ago, when the sorry, I'm phone's starting to blow up here. I told people I was doing this and I'm still getting messages. Once the set list got leaked, our phones were blowing up like crazy. Either A, are we going to get our product, because we haven't heard from you yet? So the answer to that is still no. And B, like, do you have any extras? So the people are like, hey, like, we didn't want anything from you, but now, like, you guys have the best prices because you're not price gouging, and we really want it, right? And so in a collector standpoint, because of the ETB Charizard and the Rainbow Rare, and then now the shiny one, which I don't think anybody was expecting, are going to drive the set. Just like, really, the shiny Charizard and Hidden Faith is what drove it, and then like everything else started to skyrocket in price. But if you're gonna buy anything, buy an ETB. Try and, if you can buy 2, keep 1 sealed, see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Open the other one and grade the Charizard, because those one thing that I did wrong is I probably opened 50 Hidden Fates ETBs, and I didn't keep. I was giving the birds away, like people were just like, "Oh, can I have one?" I was like, "Sure." They're just like stupid expensive. I'm like, what was I thinking? But I don't think it's gonna have the Hidden Fates hype behind it as long, because there just isn't that. Like, there's no subset, right? It doesn't like everyone's like, oh, it's like Shining Legends. I was like, no, not really. It's probably more like Dragon's Majesty. Because there's just the gold chase card to Dragon's Majesty, whereas this one really just has the 2 chase cards, right? In Shining Legends had like 5 or 6 shiny cards in there. So one thing that this set got right that no holiday set has done before is they marketed the products to everybody. So there's going to be the people that collect the packs and open it in the cards, but all of the pin collections are gym badges from the game. So if you played the game and you really liked it, like, all of those pin collections are based on the gym leaders from the game. Awesome. Like, could not have hit the marketing nail on the head any better with the way that they actually did the products, right?
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
All 8 pin collections, right? Yeah. All 8 pin collections, because there's the 2 double pin collection things, are awesome. Like, just supremely marketed. And then you've got Marnie as the the premium collection, which is really cool. And then you can't go wrong by putting a gold Charizard. I don't know if you guys on the ETV, right? And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it is a really blank background for the most part, and then the Charizard just lights up. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen anybody open the ETVs or not yet. So, um, the product itself is perfect. The set is doo doo.
Yeah. Okay. So number 15, Jordan.
So number 15. How do you feel about buying cards at retail at stores like Walmart and Target?
Um, I like it. I still do it. I will be honest with you. I didn't know what our allocations were going to be, and I really wanted to see people get their product, and so I actually pre-ordered
Mm-hmm.
stuff at GameStop, at least ETVs for myself, and I'll open every single one of them. I will not sell a single one. So whatever I get from GameStop, I'll end up opening. Um, Real Breaking Nate was on Polish Rob's thing
Yeah.
tonight, and he was talking about liking the chase, right? So he buys from people,
Mm-hmm.
but he also really enjoys driving around and finding stuff. I can tell you that I do a lot of traveling for work, and
Mm.
every time I go somewhere, regardless if it's new or not, I always rent a car for a day. And I drive around and I go to Walmarts, I go to Targets, I go to GameStops, I find local game shops. Like, you just never know what you're gonna find. Um, do I liquidate them because I have the ability to? No. So do I buy them out of everything that they have? Absolutely
Mm.
not. I like to keep things for people. I like going to
Yeah.
Dollar Tree and buying dollar packs, man. I've got two kids that love to rip packs, and if they're opening packs like crazy all the time, then like Dollar Tree is the way to go.
Yeah.
And the pull rates from a sealed Dollar Tree box is almost that to um, it's almost that of a regular booster box, and so like in the price is about the same,
Yeah.
in terms of like the amount of ultra rares that you're gonna get. But it's I like it, but I also don't think that people need to buy everybody out of everything.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people that I get in arguments with from time to time because like they'll send me pictures like, oh, I got all this stuff at Walmart. I was like, did you leave anything for the next person? No. And then that's where this flipper price gouging thing comes from. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with buying stuff. Be very cautious. Um, I mean, I know what I'm looking for most of the time for resealed stuff. So like if I pick it up and it's not right, then I don't buy it. I actually have found resealed stuff at Walmart in the past, and I caught it while I was there, and I actually brought it up to
Yeah.
the customer service desk,
I have
and
too.
was like, hey, like somebody's already opened this. Like I know that the pack, like you can see that the packs are in here, but I can assure you that the packs are not there. But the hunt is fun. It's a ton of fun. It's worth me spending the $25 to $50. When I go somewhere new. I'll be in Boston in 3 weeks' time, and I found a bunch of really cool shops in Boston. I found a bunch of cool shops in Portland, Maine the last time I was up there, and we used to live in New Hampshire, so like when I rented the car, like I drove up to where we used to live in New Hampshire, and checked out the GameStops there, and they had like one GameStop had like 15 of the Pokeball collections from Hidden Fates, and like no one had touched Hidden Fates up there, and this is back in mid-March, so you can find some cool stuff. I found two local card shops, and I bought base set Charizards there that were like in the PSA 7, PSA 8 range for about $40 a piece. I found a legendary collection, Dark Vaporeon, that'll probably pull a 9 PSA wise in the reverse holo, that that fireworks reverse holo look to it. So you never know what you can find. So it's always fun to just drive around and just see what you can do. I do a lot of road trips during like hunting season and stuff. So I'll be driving from here in North Carolina up to Ohio in the middle of November, and I'll probably stop at Walmarts and Targets along the way, and and see what I can find, because you just never know what you're gonna come across. So always check them down, because the hunt is just as, I think it's just as fun as opening. So we don't have a whole lot of Walmarts and Targets. I think between the two larger cities I'm in between, Jorden lives outside of one of them, but like he's got a Target and a Walmart, and then there's a Walmart in between me and Jorden. There's a Walmart where I live, and then there's a Walmart about 30 minutes away from here, and then there's a Walmart where Christy works about an hour away from here, and she also has a Target. So within like a 2-hour drive-ish, like you only have 5 Walmarts and 2 Targets, which is not like normal. So we don't have a whole lot of places to check, but it's still kind of fun to drive around from time to time.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be going out of town to get some more school clothes, and I'll probably check out Walmarts and stuff like that just to see what they got. Because my Walmart doesn't have any of the Hidden Fates boxes anymore. I got one, but I didn't have any more money at the time. But you feel like there is a ghost next to Jorden?
He's got the glare from the computer screen. That's pretty cool.
My life.
Mute him.
You wanna know what I'm actually gonna do?
Your local game stores are
Remove
limited to
that
1 hour
thing.
distance. Any further, they've already been hit.
Creek lives about 2 hours from us, so I've definitely hit Walmart's in his stomping grounds. The one in Elizabeth City is like a gold mine.
Wow.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, mine I think has like secret
Go to
investors
any city.
or something, because like I don't really know anyone who collects. Like none of my friends collect or anything really, and I don't know like really too many people. And when we have game shops, there's not too many people and clothes and stuff like that.
Coke and come down here and work for me.
Dude. Oh, no one buys Pokemon in your area, but the basketball and football cards are always gone. Yeah, my Walmart, everything is gone basically.
I might work for you.
I don't know who's been buying stuff, but someone's been buying a lot. The whole football and stuff, that's all gone. I don't buy that.
Show
But...
you. I think mine's right here. Yeah. Wait.
I'm gonna switch over to my phone.
So
The tablets
Okay.
just keep lagging and stuff.
this is like what the standard basketball product is at Walmart right now.
Mhm.
So MSRP on these things is $22, but people are selling these things for $75 a piece, like everywhere. So that's why you're not seeing stuff on shelves, is because like people are seeing just how ludicrous the pricing is for flipping on that stuff. So
Okay, yeah, Jordan will...
lost him.
Yeah, he'll be back.
There
He's
he is.
back. Okay.
Those are always gone. So because we've started opening sports cards, this is one thing I will buy out. Just because I don't want to spend. I know what people are selling this for, and even like small sports card shops are selling them for astronomical amounts of money too. So
Yeah.
like, I'll be a retail Randy on sports cards just because they're just hard to find.
Yeah. Remember when Hidden Fates came out? I went the day before it came out just to see if they stuck to early, and the day after, and I kept going like multiple days, and I could not find them Elite Trainer boxes at all. They were getting bought up immediately. In the pin collections, you could see where the box was, where they all were, and like I went there like that same day, and they were just all gone. So.
Cool Squirtle, how far are you from Revere? I think you're down more on the border, if I can remember.
Gonna run you
So I
all.
think
Thanks
it's
for the
further.
stream. Night, everyone. Have a good night, Gyarados Freak.
Tom.
You're still,
Yeah,
your
cool
thing's
squirrel.
still loading.
There's all sorts of cool spots. I didn't go 495 route, but I definitely went up. There's some really cool small spots in like Seabrook, New Hampshire. I found a cool little. Oh, you're 30 minutes north of Boston. No, I know that Revere's 30 minutes north of Boston. You're down close to the Connecticut border, if I can remember correctly. but or at least on that 495, 93 interchange area. But there's a couple of small ones like just outside of Lowell, Mass, that I found. They were pretty cool. Nashua, New Hampshire, that's where I used to live. They have a really cool LCS there that had tons of cars. Oh, you live near New Hampshire. Yeah, there's a really nice shop in Nashua. And then there's a couple of like Seabrook has a couple. I have the cards somewhere here around me, but probably the best spot for sealed product I found was in Revere, Aces Games and More in Boston. I'll be back up there in 3 weeks or so.
Okay, so I think the next question me, Jordan. Yeah, I got evens. Okay.
So it's your question.
Yep. Do you think the shiny Charizard V or the Rainbow Rare Charizard V Max will be worth more? And how much will you think each one will be worth approximately?
At launch?
Yeah.
I think the shiny will be higher. I'm guessing it's gonna be like a test tube Mewtwo type pull. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right when it first comes out, you're probably looking at, $300-400 raw on both of them. Until like we can really like settle into how rare these things are gonna be. I mean, that's my best guess. It's not gonna be like people are gonna try and sell them at $10,000. Like they're gonna send them to Beckett and try and get black labels and PSA to do immediate turnarounds to try and get $5,000-10,000 right up front, to have the first one. I think that's always going to happen. We saw it with the PSA 10 one that just wasn't selling on eBay for the VMAX. So you just don't know. But I would think between $300 and $500 to start. I think that's about what the Shiny Zard was in the beginning. Outside of that black label that sold for $10,000.
Yeah. Okay, so Jorden had a bonus question, not related to collecting or selling, but to the TCG.
It's about more of like competitive play with the card Arceus Dialga-Palkia GX.
Okay.
How do you feel about the thoughts of ADP getting banned for like custom tournaments?
I don't think ADP needs to be banned. I've seen a lot of different people's take on this. Some people are for the ban, others aren't. The big push for the ban was because of like that last big like Players Cup, I think is what it's called, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like 7 of the top 15 decks all played it. So it really doesn't give diversity to the meta. But I'm going to agree with some other people in that I don't think ADP is the problem. I think Zacian being overpowered is the actual problem with the whole thing. Yeah. So being that it is a basic, right? It's not a VMAX.
Yeah.
There is no set counter to it. So like Zamazenta is a great counter to the VMAX decks now, right? So that's why most people run Azami in most decks. It's Zacian being able to basically be an any turn trainer when you don't have trainers in your hand is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it allows you to build up ADP regardless, right? So you can't play trainers on your first turn, right? Nobody can. But you can use the draw ability off of Zacian first turn, right? I think you're going to start seeing a lot more counters to it. I think that those new single prize Decidueye decks, as long as you play them the right way, is a good counter to it, which we didn't have in the last Players Cup. The new Machamp card in this set is 20 damage for the amount of Pokemon that you have in your discard pile, or 50 damage times. It's 50 damage for every Pokemon that's in your discard pile.
In Champion's Path?
That's in Champion's Path, right? So that's a huge counter. So the part of the problem with ADP is coupling it with Zacian. Like ADP was a baller with the Blastoise decks, because the Blastoise and Piplup, with being able to transfer energy as quickly as you could,
Yeah.
it was one of those decks that was just out of control. You're starting to see people play ADP in these new Mew 3 with Frostmoth and the Blastoise GX from Unbroken Bonds again now, because
Yeah.
of the energy work with that, right? So people are finding more diverse ways to work with ADP. I just think that, what is it? Zacian is 220 for the attack, something like 200 for
230.
What is it?
230.
Yeah.
230 for the attack, right?
Yeah, but the plus 30 for the auto creation GX. So
Right.
most of the time it's 260.
So that's the problem. I think that Zacian is the OP card, not ADP, because we didn't have a problem with ADP at all. It wasn't even a question until Zacian popped, because Zacian allows you to play speed faster than speed has ever been played in the game before.
Yeah.
And now you have cards like the Crobat V, which is basically Shaman EX all over again, and so now you have even that. Like, you can basically play a whole hand turn 1, and then Crobat first turn back up to 6 cards, right? And then Zacian again at the end, and after your first turn, you've played 8 cards, and now you have 9 back in your hand again, and that's not because of anything but the Zacian, and it has nothing to do with ADP. So it's the combination of ADP and Zacian is the issue. It is not ADP by itself.
Yeah, with the Decidueye matchup, I think ADPZ automatically wins because the Daraludon, unless your Daraludon is prized. I think Zacian is the problem, but I don't know what to do if Zacian is banned. Like, because my favorite deck is ADP Zacian, so.
As it should be, because it's, top 1.
Yeah.
My kids are lucky that I'm doing this right now, because I'm ready to go upstairs and rage. It's 10 o'clock and they're still not asleep.
Yeah, that's it for the questions. We're going to go over the Champions Path set list.
Okay. Just gotta pull that up.
Dang, the face cam's still not working for me on your screen.
I'm sorry that I cut mine out there. I just had to
that's fine.
Make sure Christy was going to take care of the issue above me right now.
And there that is, and then bam. Should be good now. Yep. Okay, got the website up for Poke Beach.
Alright, we're gonna zoom through this because we're already 1.5 hours into it.
Yeah.
We usually have our podcast like 45 minutes, so.
Well, time's not really a big thing for me, but when it comes to.
It is for me.
Yeah.
I don't know when I have to go.
Yeah.
But we'll try to get through this in a reasonable amount of time, not too quick, not too slow though. So.
Yeah. So obviously we got the Charizards. They were first.
Yeah.
I think.
We'll start from number 1, go all the way to.
I think they're cool, but.
Number 8.
Like, yeah. They're cool, but they're gonna be super hard to get and super expensive. Hopefully, I'll have my
face cam off because your stream is bugging me with the like.
Well, it's my
face
Discord
cam's
too.
also on
Your
stream.
face cam's just not loading for me.
I wish I had Champions Path right now, because I would open that as our pack at the end of this one.
That'd be cool.
I don't get it. I won't have it until Wednesday before.
Yeah, I think
Is it
I'm
working
just.
now?
Nope.
No. Yeah, I think I might just try to buy it at the store, because there's no way that I'd really be able to get it online with the price gouging. And I don't have a PayPal account, so.
I'm gonna switch back over to my tablet because my phone's about to die.
Okay. Yeah, I like that they brought back the reverse energies that are in...
Have you seen them yet?
Are they different than what they're showing?
They are awesome. I don't know if you've seen the videos that have them yet, but they're
No, I
probably the
haven't.
best reverse energies yet.
Oh, that's really cool. I can maybe take a look.
There he is. He's back.
Wait.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good. I think we got an echo again.
I'm gonna put on my headphones.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I'm just like looking at a video real quick.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
All right.
Just seeing what those reverse energies look like.
They're super flashy. The only problem with them is the fact that they're
Oh,
gonna
they're
scratch
cool.
way easier.
Yeah. Yeah, they look kind of like metallic in a way. Not metallic, but...
Yeah.
But do you think those are going to be worth anything?
They'll be like what these ones are. They're about 50 cents to $1. What any of the other ones are. I still think that nothing's gonna touch the price point of the Heart Gold Soul Silver ones, but which have like the Pokemon in the background. It looks like a cityscape, and it's got different Pokemon and stuff. So
Yeah.
these ones look good though.
And then they got Venusaur V, which I like. That's cool. They had Venusaur, and then they got Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill.
Beedrill is actually pretty good. 1 energy, 80 damage, and the poison.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, that'll probably be a playable card. Then they reprint Eldegoss V with a different artwork. Which I don't know, that doesn't make too much sense to me, but...
So most of the set is a reprint.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just added in, they got Incineroar V. Seems like the set itself doesn't really have a theme too much. But like the products had a theme.
Yeah, well, it's just like Hidden Fates was last year. It was just kind of just a bunch of like meh. Like Hidden Fates wasn't playable at all.
No.
Except for people found a way to make the Charizard playable. But that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the cards are very basic. It's.
Mm-hmm. They got Wailord, Dreadnought VMAX. Yeah, Gardevoir.
The Wailord could see a lot of play with the trainer from what is that? The Glimmerwood thing that allows you to.
Oh yeah, the reflip. Yeah.
Glimmerwood Tangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go good with that. You could probably use like Blastoise to get energies on that, or Frostmoth, or
Yep.
whatever. Gardevoir VMAX, 180 heal.
So Gardevoir will see a lot of play. It's been seeing play in Japan because the cards went out. But it's just check. The only thing is was a tool card allowed you to use attacks from any other portion? That was my set lists aren't sitting in front of me, but being able to go back and use the overflowing wave after you've already put the VMAX on, because it's 80 more if it was healed during this turn.
So it'd be 200, yeah.
So if you ended up healing in that turn because you're taking damage, because I know a lot of people are still playing hyper potions, etc. So I don't know. It's not a a base V meta if you're not playing V maxes just because of pure HP. It's
Tana, Hatterene. Then they got Glaring Corsola V. Your active Pokemon, when your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 3 damage to that Pokemon. So yeah, that'll...
on Poke Beach.
What?
Read the second attack, the Hallow Missile, if you're on Poke Beach.
Damage put 3... What, for some reason... It didn't scroll down on that. That's weird. Hold on. Why?
It's not scrolling down on your screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess that's fine if I can't fix it. And they got Alcremie V. Seems like they got a lot of psychic stuff.
Psychic.
Yeah.
The VMAX of Alcremie. It's 2 moves are like synced together. Like,
yeah, that's another.
For each of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for a psychic energy, attach it to that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. And for 2 psychic, G-Max Finale, 60 times damage for how many energy you discard.
Yeah, that's 2 energies that'll see play. Hatterene, or Alcremie V, that heals 30. Yeah. And we got Machamp, which you were talking about earlier. It's 20 damage for each fighting Pokemon in your discard pile. And then Dynamite Punch, 200 damage, does 50 to itself for 3 energies. That's pretty decent.
It's 20 times damage.
Yeah, I was saying the second attack. Yeah, the first attack, that's 20 times damage. And then we got a Lucario V, which is cool. Lucario's fun Pokemon, so I like that that's in there.
Yeah, it's a
not
powerful
really
one.
Yeah, it's not really too playable. I feel like a lot of fighting Pokemon haven't been too playable, so
you can see Grapplox being played with the Glimwood Tangle as well.
Oh yeah,
Coin flip and
then we got a Zygarde. And then, yep, the Grapplock V. Turn damage, flip a coin. Yeah, because that can do.
One card that I can definitely see being played a lot in this set is the new Galarian Obsidian in stall decks. once during your turn, you have your opponent discard cards from their hand until they
Oh,
left.
yeah, that one.
So you play the original
Good,
one.
especially if they have a big hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you play the original Zigzagoon for the damage, right? Play I guess you could play either Lanoon, but then you play the new Obstagoon, and it just played as a bench card. That's it. Where you just put the Zigzagoon with Evo Incenses just to keep it as a bench card, just as allow to just keep your player's hand down, your opponent's hand down as much as you can.
Well, even for a triple acceleration, it could do 180. Then it can attack during next turn, but so it could be an attacker, but its ability is the more important thing.
Yeah, I think you'd only play it for the ability, just to have it sit on the bench, just like you have Mew sit out there, so you can't get hit on the,
Then Absol is just simple 70 damage. And got a new Malamar. Just confuses your opponent's Pokemon. And we got Duraludon V. Takes 30 less damage from attacks because its ability. And then does 10 plus damage. Does 40 more damage for each metal energy attached to it. Which I don't know. It's not too great, but. Then yeah, they reprinted it. Are they gonna have different artworks for the bead and stuff, or are they just gonna use that same artwork?
For the what?
For the bead and full heal and great balls.
No, the only one is the Hop gets the new artwork.
Oh, he's the only. Yeah.
And then your only new trainers are the canned food and the rodent and phone. Both of which are meh.
Yeah.
Full arts look good. I think the Hop is a good looking card. It was a promo in Japan. People were buying those things like crazy. So it was actually nice that we got to see that one.
I actually like that Kaboo. That's pretty nice. They showed Milo, but they didn't make a rainbow of that.
No, because it already had one.
Oh, yeah. And then they have the gold canned food. Or strange canned food. So yeah, there's not really much. It's a really small set. Yeah, there's 80 cards. Didn't Dragon's Majesty have about the same?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little like that, but yeah, so that's it for that.
Now it's time for you to open stuff while I just sit here.
It's a what?
It's time to open stuff.
Alright, I'll open one of these.
What is that? Hen Fates.
Just because it's here.
Yep. Yeah,
I'll start it off. I'll let you guys finish it up.
Mew!
Huh?
The Mew pack.
Oh, the Mew pack. Yep.
Upside down. Y'all can figure that one out.
Yes.
Wheezing. I think that's a Cubone. I only have this little smudge. Geodude. Jigglypuff. Energy. Stupid Pokemon Center Lady. Metapod. The rare is a Hollow Eevee. And the reverse is Charmander.
Huh? I actually got this mystery box Detective Pikachu thing that I just picked up randomly.
The plushies are awesome.
Yeah, that's what I got it for, mainly. I mean, if the packs are good, that'd be cool. But that Charizard whole thing is kind of just shim. Do I have something like sharp I can like cut this box with?
That's the illegal one.
Okay.
That Detective Pikachu box is worth it just for the plushie.
Yeah. Oh, it opens really weird. Yeah, so there that is. Yeah, that's actually really
Probably
soft.
wait blistering. I just want to shop some cards I probably would be selling.
That's soft.
So the first one is a Shaman EX.
That's cool.
And then there's a large EX from Shining Legends. I gotta say that spicy. Professor Sycamore. That's a cool art, and Secret.
We lost him.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of lag there. Yeah. You'd think your guys' connection would be better since you're closer, but... I'll just say, no PSA 8 Charizard.
Here? It's definitely not the internet, it's the tablet.
We got a Gyarados coin. Too bad Gyarados Freak isn't here. That will not focus, but it's okay. Do any of these Detective Pikachu cards have any value now, or they'll
The
just
Charizard
nothing?
does.
Charizard.
The Mr. Mime is still highly playable. A lot of people play it. It's about $4 to $5 a piece.
Oh, yeah, we got.
Some of them are halfway decent and 10. But the cuts were so bad on the cards that it was really hard to get them.
Jigglypuff, and then Magikarp. Oh, Detective Pikachu.
And the homeboy.
Yeah, that's the last one. Okay. Got 2 Cosmic Eclipse in here. That's good. Get an ADP. Definitely not.
Tag team trainer.
Yeah, those are cool too.
Chrissy's sending me TikTok videos right now.
I'll just give away this code.
Because we talked about it a lot.
Fighting
I'll
Energy.
open one more with you.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Dartix. Who's that? Cosmome. Mawile. Onyx. Tepig. Sandshrew. Snorunt. Wheezy. Coughing, yep. Reverse Vaporeon and got a regular rare Kyogre.
Alright. This is the last one I'm going to open with you guys. I'm going to go kill these kids upstairs. Some Shining Legends just because we talked a lot about it.
Yeah, really fun set.
Just opening up holiday sets around here.
Oh!
There you go, Pokemon.
Not too bad. That's cool.
I was actually talking to Chrissy about this the last time we were opening Shining Legends. We pulled a bunch of those things, and I hadn't seen one in a long time. I was like, we haven't seen that full art trainer in a while.
Apom. Oh, I skipped a card. Onyx again. Tepig. Sandshrew, is this like almost the same pack? Snorunt. Burst Buzzwole, Ultra Beast. Oh,
So
so Valley GX. It's not bad.
And an ultra rare.
Yeah. Glad I pulled something. I mean, the plush is cool by itself. But,
it is. It is.
yep. Okay. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It was really fun.
Good questions. Keep up the good work, and it doesn't happen overnight. So
Yeah.
just keep plugging away, and don't give up with it. We may not always be in chat, but we'll usually turn it on, or at least I'll turn it on and watch and listen and stuff like that. So yeah, just keep driving, keep doing the good work, and Jorden, I've got some stuff coming your way, just waiting for it to be finished up and whatnot. So I didn't forget about you. But yeah, guys, thank you very much, and just keep up the good work, keep playing, and keep talking about it and talking with other people about it, and just continue to expand upon what you guys have now.
Okay. You want to do the outro, Jorden?
All right. Yeah. So I would like to thank everyone for watching. This is Cyber11. This is Jorden Hampson, by the way. NC PAckBuster, thanks for being on the show with us.
Yeah, links in my description.
This Rage King. Thanks